Okay. Hello, Zahar, Matei, hi, Andrew, Terenia, Purnima, hi, good to see you all. Dan, Alexandra. All right, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, thanks. So let me just start a slideshow, I think. Okay, amazing. So thank you very much again for showing up. Today we're starting on time. And the topic of our today's conversation will be mostly about fundraising activities that we do as the Ukrainian student organizations on campus, or whatever other name of or purpose of your club is. But since you're here, then we're going to talk in particular fundraising campaigns for Ukrainian community. So this is a brief overview of the meeting agenda. I won't stop for long on this. I will just tell you that I will try to be a timekeeper for today's meeting, and so that we can fill all the points in this agenda. But at any point during this conversation, of course, feel free to ask your questions to speakers, or like if we have a conversation in the end, we can stay for a couple of minutes longer. And if you need to disconnect at any point during this meeting, also feel free to do so. We are recording this meeting, so I will be publishing the link in to YouTube recording. Okay, so to start with, a couple of words just in general, what's happening in our community of Ukrainian student associations. So congrats to multiple clubs that have started the club meetings this semester, like yay. I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram from so many different communities on campuses, and it was very nice to see that this is kind of like the activity, the fall semester has started and the activity is reviving. So do you have any feedback about like how your organization started this semester? You can unmute yourself if you wish to speak.
I can quickly jump in. So Ukrainian Student Association at Stanford, we had our first meeting of the quarter last Thursday. Unfortunately, we still were waiting for some of our undergrads to join. And we were also learning about some new arrivals to the campus. So I think currently we should have over 20 Ukrainians, and we are planning to have a huge meeting, like our major meeting planned for this coming up Thursday, when we will be introducing our agenda for the year, our strategic planning, and also just getting to know our new members. But we kind of had like preliminary meeting already.
Great, thank you, Bahtan, for sharing. And don't forget to either tag us or DM us with your social media so that we can also repost it. Yay, great. Okay, so also if you are in our Telegram chat, Terenia has recently posted a message. Terenia, would you like to comment on that? Maybe some states have already been filled in.
Sure. Of the ones listed here, I think Maryland and Minnesota we might have already, and potentially Wyoming. I'm not personally the one organizing this. Someone reached out to me asking for help, so which is why I reached out to the SUSTA chat to find out more info. But I will check in and get more info on that. But yeah, it's still ongoing. So if anyone knows people in those states, let me know.
Okay, sounds good. And like states that are not mentioned here are covered already?
Oh yeah, everything that's not mentioned is already covered, yeah.
Okay, will you be able to share with us in our like Telegram chat any materials about like where to see those posts or videos, or like any information about this campaign?
Yeah, I'll try to find out as much as I can. Basically, one of my friends reached out to me because someone had reached out to her for help, so she was this has been passed on quite far down, so I have no contact with the people actually organizing it. It's just through people. But basically, like there's a group that's organizing this and they're not super well connected. in the Ukrainian community. Like they don't have any ties to the classroom with like the bigger organization. So I believe they reached out to Erasmus for help, and that's how I found out. And they're trying to find people in these states. But I will learn more and I will update everyone.
Okay, sounds great. And our next point is the big release, pre-release. So you will see it live. Our SUSTA/USUA website is live, and our Tam here is here with us, who is the main developer of this website. And I would pass the word to him to do a quick demo of this website. So Artem.
Hi, fellas. Yeah, so I'm Artem from Tufts University, senior biomedical engineering. So Tufts is in Boston, just FYI. All right, so I'll share the website real quick. It's really basic. I used a tool to make websites. I mean, except the graphic was done on Canva. So it's like anyone can pick it up easily and just keep working on it in the future if for any reason I won't be here. But it's not like high tech or coding from scratch. So that's a great thing. So it's a single page app, just this single page website, just describing what USUA is about. And if anyone wants to join, they can join our Telegram chat, which should work. The link, and they can send an email to the e-board through the board email. And then finally, they can sign up as a student org. They want to be featured in the network of USUA and be a part of the future programs that USUA will organize. Yeah, so this is a work in process to manually copy all the member organizations that we have so far. I definitely procrastinated on this, but it will be looking something like this. So bear with me on that. Right, so yeah, it lagged a bit on my computer because I was messing with stuff, but basically it's just some images from events that I got from on our chat. So I suppose this was MIT, I believe. This was Illinois, and this was just Tufts. So just different images. Anyway, so we have a map, and I use a third-party tool. So whoever will want to take over this, I'll share the credentials in the future. For now, I can handle this with no issues. And people can just look up like what schools are there, and it's still work in progress to populate everything. So we will definitely expand in the future to include things like introducing the team, and definitely as USUA builds up and introduces programs, this website will be used for that. And anything else that's we will come up with, USUA will think of, definitely will be going through the website. So it's a prototype, it's the beginning of something bigger, hopefully. So yeah, any comments, any feedback would certainly be appreciated. You can find me on Telegram, or you can contact Maria. And otherwise, we'll just keep going from here.
Thank you very much, Artem. And I would like to say that this is a very good working website. So it's not just a prototype, so to say. Yeah, I definitely agree. It looks very professional, very neat. And as Artem mentioned, if you have like certain like skills in terms of the web design, or if you see something, by the way, Artem, could you share the link in chat right now so that people can click on it? It's the link is also in the presentation, so you all have access to the link. But if you have any like suggestions and the ways how you can help with the website, please contact Artem or myself, and we have some regular meetings discussing our web application, and we will be able to invite you to our meetings so that we can work together and like proceed faster with this. And actually, one thing that you can definitely help doing is there will be on the website, there is one thing, Artem, I believe that we have added this right here. So if you are a student organization, or like you are a representative of an e-board, and you want to be listed in the section here on the map, first of all, And also in the section where will add your like Instagram or website or Facebook, whatever other social media representations you have. So if you click here, there will be a form, Google form, where we will ask you several questions that we will use this information basically to create this logo on this website and paste the links. And in the end of that Google form, you will be able to download a JPEG or any other like format of a picture that we can use on the website. So we will add this feature on the website and we will send an update in Telegram. And after that, you will be able to fill the form in, and next time you will see your own circle on this website.
Just out of curiosity, as a student org as well, what is the other benefit of joining the kind of like membership of USUA?
Great question. Can you say your name and what organization are you representing?
Well, I'm Artem from Tufts.
Oh, Artem, yeah. Sorry, I didn't have the screen. So that's a great question. And as of now, you can see that we have several, like a good amount of representatives here from the clubs. As we proceed, we will build our community. We will invite speakers, and we will invite some other like partners that will be partnering and helping us as an organization and our members in certain activities. And to be able to participate in those activities, we will ask you to become a member. So basically your membership is kind of like a guarantee that you are interested in participating in these activities, and we can count on you to build this activity and help other communities to grow. And all together as a network, like in the case for like what Terenia was mentioning, that for a flag campaign, for example, we can make it happen much faster, and because we already built a network. And we will hold these workshops to share our experience. Like today, Bogdan will be sharing experience of fundraising at Stanford, which we can learn only being in this community. So these are the primary benefits. Yes, Matej, I can see your question.
I just wanted to say I'm not sure if I'm clicking the right thing or not, because the link for whenever I hit it, it'll just take me back to the like homepage of the website.
Which link are you clicking on?
The form, right? I just updated. Sorry, try it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now it works. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just changing stuff on the way.
Okay. So just to keep with the timeline here, I would like our first speaker, Bogdan, to share with us their experience at the Ukrainian Student Association at Stanford about their fundraising experience, fundraising campaigns that they have run in the past year. Bogdan, would you like me to give you permission to share screen?
No, it will not be much of a presentation. I just you can actually stop sharing the screen. So I just want to talk to the people. Hi, everyone. My name is Bogdan. I go by Danny, if anything. Just want to share like 3 major fundraise campaign that we did here at Stanford. So we had 3 different approaches to fundraising. One of them was through applying for grants, and we did apply through Pioneer Grant. Pioneer is a petroleum company, and grant was a couple $1 million. Since we were not even registered as a student organization yet at the time, we had to partner with the local NGO, and so we partnered with Nova Ukraine. The specific of that partnership was that we needed to have a specific request from Ukraine, so we partnered with the Mechnikova hospital in Dnipro. We also partnered with the 2 other clinics, one in Kryvyi Rih and a burn unit in Dnipro as well. So we had a specific ask from the local community in Ukraine. We had a specific grant that we were applying for, knowing that we raising money for that specific project. And in our case, it was a medication and some hospital equipment. We had an NGO who was handling the financial part of it. And we had a donor. In this case, it was Pioneer company that's named Pioneer. The initiative came from our student association, and we had a person named Josh Pickering. So he was the one who actually wrote the grant, and it was a combination of several partnership that helped us to make this happen. The second type of fundraising that we did, it was a Run for Children of Ukraine. The person who was mainly in charge of it, Katerina Slinkova, the idea was to raise funds and to buy a neonatal equipment for newly born kids. And we partnered with the Ministry of Health of Ukraine to figure out what kind of equipment specifically we need. We also partnered with the Ukrainian Association of Washington State. And that was just like about the relationship with those two entities. And then the actual fundraising went in the form of us selling tickets to a virtual run. That's why it's like Run for Children of Ukraine. And you could buy a ticket. At first, it was like we were selling tickets for $20 or more. Like you could offer more if you would like to. And we would send to whoever registered to run. We would send them a bracelet and like a sticker that they could put on their like t-shirt. So when they run, there's like a number, and they could put their name and they put it on the social media. Then originally that event was for I think a month. But we decided to extend it since there was not a lot of turnout comparing to what was our desired goal. So we extended it for the entire summer, actually through the Independence Day. And we also partnered with Strava. It's I think some of you might know the app where you can do like physical activity challenges. And we start tagging a lot of, I don't want to say like celebrities, but kind of like celebrities that do like some inspirational stuff, and they help us just promote this event. So we had people from different continents. We ended up, in that case, we ended up raising about, I want to say $9,000, which was a bit short of what we intended, but we learned what works, what doesn't work. And it was a good experience in terms of figuring out where our efforts are the most successful. Just comparing to the original one when we wrote a grant, it was not as successful since on the grant we got like a couple $1 million. And in this case, we got like $9,000. So clearly grant works much better than just like simple fundraising. Although I must say that in case of Run for Children of Ukraine, our social media campaign was much more successful in terms that we were actively posting stuff and we were engaging with the community. So overall awareness about our efforts was much more visible. So therefore, I just want to, the reason why I want to mention those two, because they completely different in terms of outcome. They similar in their structure when it comes to finding a partner, like someone on the ground, someone like a person who can handle your finance, since we are not NGO with the not-for-profit status. And we had also like a final goal. It was in both cases, it was equipment, like, and mainly it was medical equipment. But there were like pros and cons for both of those. If we're talking about the grant writing, it was mainly like 2 people who did most of the job. When it comes to Run for Children of Ukraine, we had an entire team. The social media team was involved. It was much more engaging, even though the end result which was much lower. So if you're thinking about some fundraising in the future, you need to take that into consideration, however many human hours you can afford, like per the time period that you have that fundraiser for. When it comes to raising money on campus, to be honest with you, we have not done that for several reasons. Like one of them, if we would do anything through Stanford, they collect part of the donation. So we didn't want to run through that. Even the events that we did do on campus, we suggested people to scan a barcode, or a QR code, and then donate to some of the like foundations that we know about, like Prituла Foundation or Povrani Живим, like Come Back Alive, or some others. So they would not go through Stanford, so that way we would not lose any of the finance in that regard. We were very clear about the funds that people can donate to, because some of them were concerned about not donating to military efforts, so like military equipment. So we also had a few that had purely humanitarian effort, like Nova Ukraine. They mainly do humanitarian help or like aid in Ukraine. So that's something that you have to be like very straightforward, especially if you do any fundraising on campus. The problem with that approach is that we have no control whatsoever of who's donating, how much are they donating, where the money are going to. We're hoping they donate into those trusted entities, but we just have no agency over it. So, and there is also one other type of fundraiser that we started doing, and I would pass the torch to Purnima if she can add a little bit about the. We also had we're still having this project that Purnima will say a few more words about.
Yeah, thanks, Bogdan. That's actually a very nice summary of it and a good summary of the different approaches. This current fundraiser that we're running, it's again a bit of a need-focused fundraiser. It's for particularly survivors of sexual violence in Ukraine due to the war. So this effort, we're collaborating with Nova Ukraine, but as Dan highlighted, there's a lot more money through applying through grants, but this one is more of a crowd raise kind of fundraiser. And so if you want to fundraise large amounts using crowdfunding, essentially what you need to do is broaden the scope of your reach as much as possible, kind of exponentially keep increasing the number of people you're reaching. It's very easy to tap out all of your immediate contacts, like friends of friends, in a couple of weeks, and then most fundraisers will plateau. And so for the last couple of months, I've been trying to broaden the people who can help us fundraise. So it would be awesome if SUSTA could help in that, because of course they have an amazing platform where different schools can share those posts and things like that. SUSTA and USUA, this group of people essentially. And for the fundraiser, we're in touch with groups across Europe and specifically in Poland and Polish people across Europe. The second half to any fundraiser is trying to figure out where the money is going to go and if you have any control over that. So one approach is to donate the money to a big organization like Nova Ukraine or Razom for Ukraine. But here the goal is to kind of collaborate with Nova, which is whom we're working specifically with, and to have them funnel the money towards the final goals that we want. So I'm also establishing contact with some Ukrainian or organizations in Ukraine that are working with survivors of sexual violence. And so by using Nova Ukraine's platform to fundraise, our Stanford Ukrainian group doesn't actually handle any money. So the money is raised on behalf of Nova Ukraine, but the money is raised using the resources of, or like the social media resources of organizations around the world. And then the final money would be funneled towards the goal that we want at the end of the day. This fundraiser is still in its early stages. And if any of you are interested in helping out with that, please let me know.
Yeah, and just to sum up overall our approaches to fundraising, like here at Stanford, the baseline is, as we notice, is always have a beneficiary who is the end user of wherever, like the funds, the equipment, the medical supplies or humanitarian aid, it always needed. Who will be handling money? If you have registered NGO and they are they have not-for-profit, like it's a 501(c) or C3 status, you can always just do it like through your personal, like wherever your organization is. And between crowdfunding and grant, just be aware that grants can give you a bigger sum of money, but you need to write a grant like properly. The crowdfund would be more engaging in terms of social media, so you'll have more people involved, maybe with the less funds in the end, but it's a good publicity for your effort. So you just need to choose which direction you go and however many resources you can put into it. That's all. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Or you can look on the webpage that Artem shared. on the Stanford webpage, there is our missions, and you can look through them just to see what we have done so far and what our current project. Yes, Ivan?
Yeah, Bhutan, Purnima, these great fundraisers you've done so far. And I just have a quick question, like how were you able to get the partnerships? You said the Mechnika Hospital in Dnipro and like with the Minister of Health in Ukraine for the second fundraiser. Is this like through connections, or did you guys like all reach out to people, or was it through like the grant writing, as you said? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so there are two parts of it. So first of all, we have a consulate here in San Francisco. We are in the Bay Area. So some partnership came through them. We just work with our consulate, and some of the partnership were because of where our members are from. So like we have a person from Kryvyi, we have a person from Dnipro, and they have some local connection, or through some people that just suggest like, hey, there are these places that have needs like that. So there is no like a perfect scenario how we found them. It varies. Mainly like through, like in this case, probably would be through consulate and through like Nova Ukraine and through some people that we knew on the ground. So you don't have to be like super connected. You can just start reaching out to some local officials, like Ukrainian officials here, like on the ground, or people on the ground in Ukraine, and they will direct you towards the area that need help.
Okay, yeah, that absolutely.
Alexandra?
Yeah, I had a question. You mentioned with regard to the crowdfunding, like broadening your network and going beyond like just friends of friends to continue that exponential growth. Could you describe how you did that? Like continued that cycle of broadening your network?
Yes, so in that case, we did a few things, and mainly when we talk about Run for Children of Ukraine, so we partnered with Strava, and then we start tagging on social media some people that we thought are influential or have some stories that have something to do with what we're trying to advertise. So either with some veteran females or with some Olympic athletes, they would do like this like public appearance for a noble cause. So that was our goal, and not a lot of us like personally friends with them, but through some connection through either our schools or through some of our friends, or just purely like through social media. Like if we know there's someone who does similar type of work and can just repost about us, we would just tag them. Like we would get together and start tagging them in every social media they have. And then at some point they would, not all of them, but like some of them would reply. And then if they posted, it's easier to then reach out to the next person and next person. We even try, like one of our organizer, Katya Slinkova, she tried to, like she had a t-shirt with the QR code on it, and she was running in the Central Park in New York. That really did not bring us anything, but tagging someone on Instagram did. So we try different scenarios. We try also to spread these QR codes in the local gyms, local like sport hubs, that also help. So something that, just go into neighborhoods and trying to find, I see. Yeah, camera didn't work on the running t-shirt. So just going beyond your immediate circle, beyond your campus even, that was pretty much the effort.
Then I actually have one more question. Were there cases when you reached out to, you said like athlete or like celebrity in their field, whatever, and they did not agree to repost or like spread awareness?
I think that the most that they've done, they would just ignore us. So if someone would reply to us, it's likely that they would like repost or like agree to tag us or like run or like swim for us or something, and then post like, hey, in collaboration with the Ukrainian Student Association, like we're doing this thing for the children of Ukraine, and they would just promote it for us. So typically it would work because it's a very noble cause, and like it's for kids, for God's sake, like no one would refuse it. But there were instances when people would just ignore us. So if warm connection is much better than like cold connection, but
when we were doing the Run for Ukraine, our goal was actually to try to get at least one runner from each state. And so we actually went through the running websites and found every single club in every state. At least like we had like many people doing it. Each person took on 5 states, looked up all the clubs and just messaged them on like social media, emailed them. And so think about how many clubs that would be and the number of runners we got. I think the default is that people don't respond. But that's okay. I think there's some weird statistic, like you have to reach out to, if it's a cold connection, you have to reach out something like 6 times for them to respond to you. And so that, keep that number in mind. Like it's normal to get no response. That's the default. Yeah.
Sounds good. Great. Any other comments, questions? Jan and Cordelia?
A question about the running. Do you have any contact still with the people with the running clubs you reached out to?
Yeah, with some of them. I think honestly, not many clubs actually agreed to it. We even if they did, all they agreed to was sharing the poster that we made with their runners. So I don't know how much that actually led to because I haven't seen much of the numbers since then, but I might know some, yeah.
Okay.
Cool, okay. I think my mic might be doing something weird again, but so apologies for that. I'll just talk quickly and be done. But Plast Ukraine is organizing like a marathon thing where like if you donate a certain amount of money and like run a certain amount, like I don't know, I didn't read in detail, but that might be something worth to sharing with those running clubs. So I might reach out to you later about that.
Yeah.
And just one last thing I would suggest, to check in with some of your local NGOs. Like, for example, I know Razum is much more active on the East Coast. Nova Ukraine is much more active here in the Bay Area, just because they're located here. Because we had a moments when some of our activities were overlapping with some of their activities, because like Nova Ukraine at this literally at almost exact same time had their like run like marathon and San Francisco marathon. And then they had their own like fundraise for the Independence Day. So just like check in with them, and you can either partner with them, like cross promote each other, or just so you make sure that you don't do this, like you don't target the same audience at the same time, because then you will none of you will be super successful in that regard. So just check in with your community in general would also be something that we learn.
Yeah, and to add to that, also share with the broader community that we are in currently, and don't hesitate to follow other clubs. Don't hesitate. You can go to the accounts that USUA, Ukrainian Student Union account, is following. There many of the student clubs we follow, and we try to repost. But you also don't hesitate to go follow people, DM people with your campaigns, so and ask to repost. Such, for example, as Purnima mentioned, the goal was to engage someone, at least someone from each state, and we already are representing here how many states. So, by the way, can we text everyone in the chat what state do we represent? Thank you. Okay, so amazing. Wow, 5, 6, 7. Amazing. So, so yeah, I mean, this is one of the benefits as well, that you can come to this community and you can share your cause, what you're doing, and you can get some like very warm connection, so to say. Okay, so in the next couple of minutes, I wanted to just talk briefly over some main principles of the fundraising that I actually collected from all your campaigns. Can you see my screen right now?
No.
It's loading.
Okay.
Now it's fundraising.
How about, okay, yeah, so you can, the slides, right? Okay, so why we are still talking about fundraising And kind of like the first motivation is to do it is really because there is always a need for that. But at this time, when the country is at war, this is like more timely than ever. The war is still going on. There are still a lot of people who are being like hurt, displaced, a lot of kids, a lot of elderly people, a lot of people who need some equipment for the winter, especially right now. And I know in the previous meeting, we discussed a lot of ideas from you, that you had some ideas about fundraising campaigns for the winter, for for example, military women who also protect the country. So please consider running any campaign, and any effort matters. So Bogdan and Purnima, and in our discussions in the previous meetings, we talked about some steps that have to be done before actually running a campaign. Okay, so we decided that we are going for running a campaign, and now we need to put a little bit of thought into it. And Dan mentioned a lot of things that need to be taken care of, especially if you are a registered club on campus. Please be aware of all the local rules so that you don't get yourself in trouble with running a campaign. And on the other hand, remember that you are like, we are not solely like representatives of our schools or universities or whatever. Yes, maybe as a student organization, we may be limited in certain actions due to the protocol, but as an individuals or as a members of a wider community, we are able to do much more if it's not branded our like university name, for example. So please be aware of that and don't exclude any opportunities to fundraise. So preparing for campaign, very briefly from like my experience, what I've observed, what I've seen, what I've heard from you sharing with your experience. Select the type of campaign, what you can do, what you can actually do in your community, depending on the size of your community. If you're like the only person that you know in your local community, your local university, a town, like still there is something that you can do, and most likely someone already did that. So that's why we are discussing it and sharing our experience. Either it's you can bake goods, great, sell it for donations, organize event, movie shows, any like if you have a folk song or musical band that can play Ukrainian music, or even not Ukrainian music, just like for the purpose of Ukraine, helping Ukrainian kids, for example, please also use that opportunity. Again, collecting the donation in exchange. Fundraising through tabling events on campus, many clubs do that. Collaborating with other clubs, this is also another opportunity. You don't have to do it on your own. If you have another group that is very interested in doing this and helping your cause, or like you are willing to, you have the same cause, this is also a great opportunity to scale the fundraising campaign. Collaborating with businesses. Dan already mentioned it, reaching out to businesses who most likely will have some means to support your cause. If you need, for example, funds to organize an event, that might be a great thing of collaboration. And in the event, you will be able to fundraise donations from the audience that will come to attend this event. So plenty of opportunities. I won't be listing all probably, and there are much more ideas. So second step, importantly, selecting the payment method. How are you going to collect and administer this fund? This is very important because usually people trust you money and they expect that their money will be used for particular cause that you're claiming. So be very transparent about that. How are you using money? It's okay either way if you're need to pay for t-shirts, for example, but you will sell them with some surplus, like with some markup, and you will like send the difference to a particular charity. That's fine, but just be very transparent about that so that you don't undermine your trust even before it is built. And also like different payment methods. So like most common, I know that schools use like Venmo and PayPal, some personal accounts. That is fine. They don't charge commission. But sometimes to reach to a wider audience and to kind of like signal the trust that people can donate, especially the people that you don't know, maybe some people would be reluctant to donate to someone's private Venmo or PayPal account, but they will be more open to platform fundraising. And this is another way, like another point to consider, that these platforms usually charge certain amount, certain percentage of the donation. Either person is paying for this, or this amount will be subtracted from what you have donated. So be aware of that and make sure that you know your economy, like how you manage your finance and how much in the end will stay in your hands that you will be able to pass on further. And lastly, but not the least, decide the timeline of donation and also decide the goal of your donation. So usually it gives much more stimulus to people to donate if they know that this is like a limited. So urgency is motivating people to do some action, and also the willingness to contribute to a particular defined goal, right? So be very articulate about that. So we are collecting today, whatever we collect today, we are sending to a particular charity, and our goal is $2,000, $1,000. And a good practice would be also to convert those dollars into something like feasible, tangible, like we will collect like money for 100 tourniquets. This is our goal, to 100 tourniquets for first responders, or some equipment, a particular piece of equipment that is more costly. So try to find those kind of like measures which are more easily comprehensible by people who will be donating you money. And I also wanted to share a couple of examples here of the campaigns that I collected from your social media of your club organizations. So importantly, that you, in this spirit of transparency, you will be able to share the results of your campaigns. So this is a very nice summary from the University of Suffolk, how much money they collected, the total, and there were different types of campaigns. So another example from Tufts here, with the status of transfer, amount of transferred, also the destination of a particular funds. So this is just a nice visual summary of where actually the funds of donators go. And importantly, when you're collecting donations, it is also a great opportunity to establish connection with your donators. So you can tell that follow us on social media or on particular platform. We will post the results, and then it will be easier to reach for the second campaign and recurring campaigns. Some example of collaboration between two student unions on Tufts campus, and selling something that is very pleasant, like to grab. And Artem, do I remember correctly that you collaborated with Dunkin' Donuts to get these donuts for sale?
No, we just paid for that.
Oh, you pay for that. But I also know that some clubs, they make deals with local businesses. For example, they purchase donuts for 50 cents and sell it for like $2. So there is a surplus, and that's how they are able to fundraise. Yeah, so donations may not only be the monetary donations, but something in the form of particular goods. This is another type of, so to say, like donation campaign. It has its pros and cons. One of the biggest challenges here, I would say, is then you are responsible for logistics of the goods that you're collecting. And this is another point to consider. But in some cases, such donation campaigns, which don't involve money, but rather some goods, may also be used, and you will be surprised how successful they can be. Run for Children campaign, by the way, if you haven't seen the poster, visit the Stanford Ukraine page. And is it still ongoing, Purnima?
No, I don't think so. I think
don't
we
think
wrapped it up.
Yeah.
There was like still, I think we stopped advertising it. It just some people were still like donating to it.
Okay, but still you can run and still donate. Is it correct?
I think so. We still have like about 2,000 wristbands.
Oh, amazing. So yeah. And this was another example at the University of Florida, the supply drive. And basically this was also non-monetary donation campaign. And we collected over 10,000 pounds of goods for this through this supply drive. And it was actually a great thing because it was in collaboration with some university departments, with the Center for European Studies at the university and the International Center. So in that regard, the university also is a great platform to spread awareness, and also to engage the community in like your local area. So I will stop sharing here, but I believe that what I wanted to demonstrate is that there are so many great examples that have already been done by our organization members. So we can all like go back, look at these graphics, like get some ideas about like how to promote campaigns, what types of campaigns we have. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out either in chat, either directly to these organizations. And I'm pretty sure that in this case, everyone will be able to share their experience, like Bahdan shared today with us as well. Okay, so also, given that we have some time, we have Sasha today with us. And he will have also something to share with us about fundraising through platforms, right, Sasha?
Yes. Can I share? Oh yeah, I can. So here's my slide. So I'm Sasha and I'm president of Schools for Ukraine. And this year we have partnered with a US-based nonprofit, Sunflower of Peace. They are located in Boston. We are planning to conduct a fundraising campaign among US colleges, and each college will get its own link, which is on GiveButter, or your donors can text Kyiv to 5355 and get that link that way. As for payment methods, we do support Venmo, which is on demand. Right now, as you see, I will pay other payments, and my proposition for US-UA members is that we could create a nationwide fundraising competition, which first can be shown on US-UA website. Also, we can expand from Ukraine-only issue basically to like the whole community issue, because everyone would want to be the other college. They have like rivalry with, for example, like Harvard, Yale, or Illinois in Indiana. And in that way, we can also get more community involvement. Like, for example, those type of games, they usually collect a lot of alumni people and also a lot of people from the college town. And I think it will attract a lot of attention, and we can get more donations that way. So that's in short all. If you have any questions, please ask them and I'll be happy to answer.
Great, thank you, Sasha. Sasha, are you in chat with us, in Telegram chat?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so, well, if anyone has any questions, we are able to ask also in chat, right? For example, if people watch this video.
Yep, for sure. Sasha, could you please like have a small, like a PDF or something describing how this exactly works? Because like if
Yes,
we're
for
gonna do
sure.
it on a campus, we gotta pitch to many stakeholders.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Appreciate it.
Do you also want Sunflower of Peace mission and statement where they donate? They are mainly humanitarian and medical aid.
I mean, that would be helpful. I in general know them, so
Okay, yeah.
it will be helpful, I think, so we can share and other colleges could share. And that's just
Okay, yeah.
easy.
I can do that.
Great. Thank you very much, Sasha.
Mhm. Oh.
So I have a short survey that I just wanted to launch and kind of like to learn what are there charities that you donated personally or through the club. Maybe you can type your answers in chat. And meanwhile, we are doing that. I just wanted to also pass the word to Matej here. Matej, would you like to speak up about this idea about nationwide student fundraising campaign?
Okay, so actually, Andrew and Dottie were also a part of this idea, but we were thinking to have an organized 1 week during the school year. So it could either be this semester or next semester. But we were thinking that it's hard to fundraise without incentivizing people. So we were thinking instead of phrasing it as fundraising, we were going to phrase it as purchasing product. So we were trying to think, what could that thing be that's cheap to mass produce and to like still be able to, that people would be interested in purchasing. So after brainstorming, we thought of having stickers and bracelets. So both of those are very cheap and very easy to like ship in bulk. So our idea was to have one person, I'd be fine doing it, but just have one person has everything shipped to their house or apartment or whatever, and that person creates like kit bags to distribute to every university. And then based on like how many people are in each university, those universities then have like a specific amount given to them. And that is then sold throughout the campus, and all the profits would go to donation. Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted just to piggyback off of what Matej was saying. So we were thinking is, in these sort of times, it's especially important for us to, be united and be together. So what we were thinking is, if we had, like Matej was saying, an entire weekend of just like all universities, fundraising just for this one cause, that way, we could, all say like it's a giant, Ukrainian American student initiative across all universities. We have connections a lot with other universities that aren't a part of SUSTA. So we are planning on reaching out to them and being like, hey, we want to do this and, promote it to our school. So we're all doing the same thing. And so it's not, we're all doing like our own like separate things, it's under one cause, we're all doing the same thing for the entire weekend. And, we have some friends, in the Ukrainian community that we know that are web developers. We would want to make a website for this with a total updating, like, for at the end of every single day that we do fundraising for. In addition to that, we have connections in Plast, Sum. We would very much want to reach out to and, get the word across their specific branches for them to just donate and maybe not, buy the product that we're specifically selling, but that we're to incentivize, donations. But, to also just to donate in general. There's a lot of people in Cleveland that I know that would definitely be willing to contribute to this fund. And, in my previous experiences, at the Ohio State Ukrainian Society last year, when we did these sort of fundraisers, all we did for one of our first fundraisers, we held 2 bake sales and we raised over $9,000. So incentivizing something to get donations, and especially like Matej was saying, something small, easy to produce, like a bracelet. You know, people can walk around wearing, you know, the student initiative bracelet, and, you know, they can share pictures. We have a hashtag, all that stuff. So this idea is very much so in its development stages, but we would definitely be open for people to help us with this, to make it, you know, more, to fine tune it more, and, you know, also to think of other ideas that we can maybe, you know, to other things to raise money, just so it's, but so it's also just one united, one universal thing that all the schools will be doing at the same time. So yeah.
And a couple things a couple things I just want to add on to that are that we know someone who we haven't reached out yet, but we know she's a very good graphic designer, and I guarantee she'd be willing to design some really cool designs that like Americans would want.
Of course, yeah.
No.
And also, yeah, for like the people that, for the universities partnering with us. So we were also thinking of having, you know, this wouldn't come out of like a specific budget. This would probably be like, oh, if the if the universities who are participating would want, you know, this specific, like we would make like t-shirts. So it's a t-shirt for the fundraiser, you know, and it would have like, you know, those like old kind of like concert shirts. So it'd have like, or like kind of like concert festival shirts, have all the university partners in the back. And I know, at least for Ohio State, any registered student organization has the rights to use the school's logo in addition to ours. So like, you know, we have like our block O in our Ukrainian Society logo. So that would work perfectly. And also, you know, you see like the whatever colored shirts with the whatever design, you know, that's, oh, that's for the student initiative program that's going on around the country right now.
Yeah, and to add on to that, just having like a really good social media campaign and advertising this for like maybe more than a month or 2 months in advance, and like really hyping it up for like this is like a nationwide event will really get a lot of traction rolling. And I think that especially just emphasizing that like this is like SUSTA, like we're all like in this together, will be a great campaign. And I think if like all these universities, like we have so much representation throughout the United States, just in this Zoom call as well, we could get a lot of good stuff going.
Yeah, and we have connections.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
I
we
have
just
a question.
Yes.
What is the purpose? What is the money for?
So we have connections with Revived Soldiers for Ukraine. I mean, my university's worked with them in the past. We also have connections with Razom, but, you know, like we mentioned, it's very much so in the development stage. We kind of wanted to make sure that this will be logistically possible first, because this is sort of a very big event that we would want to plan. But we do have connections with Razom. We have connections with Revived Soldiers for Ukraine, and we do plan on reaching out to them to be like, you know, hey, what exactly do you need money for? So but in general, humanitarian aid, we can assume.
Okay.
Also, I have confidence that this could potentially be all the way up to even like $100,000 donation if this is successful. Just because if you sell it even for like $1 a sticker, and I can think of like 50 universities, even if every university only sells like 100, that's about 100,000 then, or 50,000, yeah. But I just see it as a very way to make a ton of money. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a great initiative, and I would love to pitch this to my team and just participate in it. Just to follow up, that a lot of colleges, at least the ones that I know that I've talked to personally, they've really done similar stuff like selling stickers, bake sales, concerts even. And we did the same at Tufts. We low-key burned out with all of that stuff. And the second point is it's saturating our community because we did this. So the people who actually care already bought stickers, already bought bracelets. We will still sell bracelets this year. We'll make better ones. But still, it's like for some colleges, they have exhausted these options as ways to fundraise. So I wonder if besides that, we should collaborate on other means of fundraising, for instance, alumni. So I think by having multiple colleges together, we could have like a tactical team or something. We could, for instance, someone planned a bake sale event. You could like share the recipes. You could share like the costs you had on it. So other colleges could learn from that. Or if you did bracelet, you could like post like what kind of stuff you bought from eBay or Amazon. Just like have small PDFs of the proposals that you did. So this way we can prevent reinventing the wheel, and we can learn from each other. If someone did something better, then we just learn from them. So for instance, for the alumni fundraising, I think it will be pretty similar for every single college. The way you approach the category of alumni, you will select, and the pitch for each category of alumni. For instance, if you're pitching to Eastern European alumni, will be different message than you're pitching to just a normal American alumni. It's just a little bit different approach, I believe. And if we can have more brains into thinking about this, more brains to come up with a strategy, we could get really big bucks from the alumni network than just only focusing on a student community. So I definitely do look forward to having like a team, and together we could brainstorm more of this.
No, definitely. Yeah, that's why, as Dottie was saying earlier, having sort of like a big social media presence, and, sharing this out to not only, like universities, or not only like the students in the colleges but also the Ukrainian communities. Our Hromada is huge in the US. So, getting this out and being like, oh, wow, like our students are doing this huge event to like all these universities are partnering together. They're all doing the same thing to, raise money for this reason. That is like, wow, that's huge. But definitely, yes, a team, right now it's just me, Dottie, and Matei. But getting a bigger team on this would definitely be beneficial. And we are definitely open to that.
Okay, thanks guys for introducing this idea. Like from what I hear, it's basically, it's no different from any other fundraising campaign. It just, we need to scale it to the nationwide size.
No,
And
definitely, yeah.
in terms of the functions that we've been talking, pretty much it's similar. We will have to choose the cause, right, where the money go to. We need to choose the means how we fundraise, what we sell, what we like advertise, event, whatever songs, engagement, entertainment provide for donators, right, in exchange. We will need to decide how we collect this money, because this will be like at least dozen of organizations that will be collecting each in their own way. We can definitely figure out how to do it in a more centralized way. And then the social media coordination, campaign coordination should be also there. And with that part, we have a little bit of experience in terms of Vigil. But with more time and preparation, I believe that might be possible to get more awareness. So my kind of like suggestion is here, why don't you guys like create whatever invite for a meeting, and document spreadsheet that can engage people who like Artem, Terenia already responded that they would be interested in collaborating, so that maybe we can kind of like with the initiative group discuss that particular cause in particular for an hour, or how much time is needed. How about that?
Course, yeah, no, that's great. I'm currently sending my phone number in the chat. If anyone would want to, is interested, more than happy to, text me, and I will make something happen.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that. And also kind of like you can do the same thing as we usually do, like create the when to meet link and see like how many people respond, or like Google form with the email, so that you can directly connect to people who already responded to you. So anyhow, the point here is, let's create the initiative group who will be working on this particular fundraising campaign. Yeah. Okay, so then looking forward to hearing when will be the next meeting about this campaign. Okay, so
sorry, just a quick question. So the fundraising campaign and the alumni thing are separate, or is that one combined effort?
My understanding is combined effort.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry, I wasn't
It's
sure.
one of the ways of fundraising.
Yeah, one of the sources, exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think that we are exhausting here the time of the meeting. This was a very engaging conversation. So I'm not suggesting to leave now if we have something to discuss. Just wanted to mention that the next meeting, regular meeting will be in 2 weeks' time, October 9th, same time. And we will be holding the elections, e-board elections. So the next updates will be posted soon in the chat regarding the applications and the procedure. And please mark the date, October 9th, 8 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CDT, 5 p.m. PDT, whatever other time zone you're in. Please mark the calendar and use the same link to join and vote on the next e-board and also apply. So you can already start thinking about your application, and the link to the application form we will share soon in the chat. Okay, any other comments? Open floor for anyone to speak.
I have a small question, just want to check. Do you need to share a screen or can we see everyone together? I just need to have like a feedback from the broader community on this stuff. So currently we have technically 2 chats in Telegram. One is on like general chat. There are 93 people on it, and out of those 93 right now, 12 is the most I ever seen together on one call, and that could just me, like I probably didn't join a couple of calls where we have like 60 people on it. But it also creates the other call. The other chat is like 4 people on it. That are working on the web page. My point is, how would you broader community feel about switching to platform like Discord? Because that way we can have channels. Like if we have fundraiser, like if right now someone will post in Telegram about fundraiser and someone else will post about something else, it's just getting lost. But at least if we would have like a Discord channel, we will have sub channels, like sub groups. And there could be like a general, it could be one for memes, for news, for I don't know, whatever else, but it also could be like just for your target audience. Can anyone speak against for very much formal in Discord? Okay, so I think this is, if anyone objects, anyone against it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, go ahead.
I feel like Slack would be more efficient than Discord. Discord to me is like primarily like a gaming kind of app.
Yeah, so the only reason I would, great question, very valid point. We went through this discussion, Slack versus Discord. Not everyone in SUSTA has like is a student. I'm not a student. I'm an intern, but I'm not a student, so I don't have access to a Stanford Slack. So that would create like a small issue versus everyone has access to Discord. And it's just more like you can break into like break rooms and stuff. So just for accessibility, in our subjective opinion, like at Stanford, we, after pros and cons, we decided to go into Discord. If the strong opinion is to go to Slack, it's just like more people can join Discord than Slack.
So you're saying non-students can't get Slack? You need like an EDU email to get Slack?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think you need an EDU account to access like some of the features of Slack.
Because okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, okay, I didn't know that it was just like a limited number of people can have Slack. I don't pay for Slack, but I use it for like other like clubs that I'm a part of, and it's very efficient to have like the e-board chat, to have like the meme chat, yeah, like the so that's just what I'm used to, and I just think it's more efficient than Discord. Yeah, but I guess like if it's more accessible for Discord, then that's fine. They both get the same like job done. I thought I'd throw
the main point was, and I don't need to cut you off. The main point was to have a platform, whether it's Slack or Discord, they can have channels. So not just have like a one line where everything gets thrown together.
Okay, so we've heard here like pros and cons of each of the options. So I invite everyone to do a quick vote. How about that? Okay, so we will be using the reactions here. If I don't see your, let me see what, like whatever, like hand raise, right? Let's all raise hands just with a hand raising activity here. So the first question is, who is for the Discord?
I don't know how to raise hand. I'm sorry.
Okay, 7. Okay, let's put our hands down now. Okay, for Slack, you can double vote, it's fine. Five, from what I see. Okay, so
I'm kind of indifferent. I don't have a preference really. Whatever's easier for the group.
okay, 6. Okay, 6 versus 7. I mean, let's do we need to vote on like the third option to use both Slack, Discord, and Telegram?
Oh, hell no.
No,
But I do
no.
think.
So in that regard, what like from due to the majority vote, right? Let's maybe try doing Discord, and let's agree that in like whatever a month from now, like it will be 2 meetings from now, we will raise this question again and ask if Discord is convenient enough. If not, we will move to the other thing.
I think, Maria, some people are saying that maybe we should ask in the Telegram chat because there's more people there.
Well,
I also like your idea of beta testing it.
It's a good option to ask in Telegram chat, but I agree with Purnima. Let's beta test on like a more narrower community, and of course we will invite everyone to join Discord. The only thing is that the statistical response rate asking something in Telegram chat is not too high, so you can divide 12 by 93 and decide, and that would be the max response rate that we will probably get. So
Okay.
let's discuss this decision. Let's move to Discord, or let's still vote on the Telegram and wait for what the other people who are not discussing this question today will say. Ask in Telegram, okay, vote. Ask in Telegram chat before moving to Discord. Raise your hands, please. 6, 57. Okay, so asking in Telegram chat. Great.
We could also make this part of whenever we end up having like elections for e-board, this could be something that's like on the ballot of choosing where to have a group chat as an extra option.
So then, okay. So next meeting we decide where we move, where we migrate, Discord or Slack. Amazing. Democracy wins. So any final questions, comments, concerns, suggestions? Artem, is it the hand from the previous vote, or is it just okay? Okay, great, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. I had a very fruitful time. This past hour and 15 minutes were very interesting, full of information, full of discussion. And I'm glad to see your faces back in this chat. So let's keep showing up and let's keep rolling the ball. Yay. Okay, have a good evening,
everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
and have a nice week. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, actually, quick question, Maria.
Yeah.
I